Welcome back to the late day wrap up as we go over all of the major pairings like Dixie, like the major US indices, and then of course gold and a little bit of Bitcoin follow up action, maybe even some Mr. Butyrol too. So with that said, wasting no more time and going for the quick bang bang play. Of course, if you want the more in-depth analysis, check out this morning's video. But with that said, we'll start with Dixie right now. And of course, Dixie still playing within that weekly range. I think I sound like a broken record on this one so often, but still looking for a range between about 91 bucks and 89 3/4 to the downside, of which that is represented by this horizontal and this horizontal right here. This one right in the middle is actually not really relevant for the weekly, obviously. And of course, just for reference, we typically do see, or I am looking for a bit of a short-term and medium-term reversal off this region, likely up to the $92 area. However, because we typically do see these macro reversals happen over the course of about three months, actually, counting back over this one, the reversal was on the 15th week, and the one before that on this prior macro reversal, another 3-month-long slog before a bit of an up, and of course, same thing on this one, all amongst the last 12 years. I mean, we can even go further back than that, 205, and of course 95 back on over here, all of them about the same when we do see a reversal on the macro scale, about 3 months, a little bit more than 3 months actually. So on this one, for reference, we are working on week number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'd still be looking for it to kind of put in a few wicks, likely to both the downside and the upside here within that same region. If it wants to come back down and test around 89 3/4, completely fine. If it wants to pop back up short term and hit just below 91 bucks, completely fine as well. But for right now, if I had to call it, or if you put a gun to my head and said, Krown, which way are we going in the more short term? I'd probably say, well, probably a little bit of upside in the short term. Probably does pop back up towards 90 3/4. Now, is that relevant for Bitcoin, as I imagine most people are wondering right now? And actually, I actually don't really think so. We can see both rally at the same time, and more importantly, it's not really until we get a macro reversal on this one confirmed until we actually do start to look at this as as problematic for all the things that trade against this, being just about everything in the world. So with that in mind, that still is very much unmet as long as we're below the $91 pivot right here. And with that said, let's go down the list starting with actually Nasdaq, of which we did see further continuation from this morning's video up to our $13,600 target, of which actually you could say that is just about hit here, exactly as predicted. Just kidding. No, of course, just a joke. You can't actually predict anything as far as trading goes. It's all about risk reward and of course the probabilities that come alongside with that. So with this in mind, would I say that the 2.414 has already been hit? Pretty much yes. So I would be looking for a little bit of a pullback within this region. Probably plays between the 272 and the 414, and then likely sets up for continuation coming into the month of February, of which I would have a legitimate target at 13,825. Actually, I got that wrong. I thought it was 1,325, but no, it's 13,825 if I can get up my numbers properly. So for the continuation, still a melt up market right here on to new all-time highs. SPY more or less the same as well, not as strong. So Nasdaq in the tech sector, more importantly, clearly leading here, and same sort of analysis on SPY. I would be looking for it to probably pop up to, what is this, 38.75 region, play at a little bit of a range between there and the 38 region right here that we just kind of bounced off of. We put a nice horizontal right there, essentially the same thing. And I'm not really looking for any sort of sustained downside moves as long as we are above the $3,800 level right here, obviously on a daily closing basis. With that said, I am generally bullish on most of the stock market still, even though it sounds crazy. Can get a little bit crazy, I suppose. Looking at the tech sector just in general too, it should, the day has already started here. A little bit of short-term downside, although I would be looking for a bit of a bouncy bounce somewhere around about 132 and 3/4 there. Anyways, moving on to gold. Where's my shitty gold? There you are. I found you, shitty gold. 1850, kind of exactly where we left it off on Friday last week. I still look at this as a potential reversal in progress. I'm not really I'm not convinced either way here. Now, I do think that it is putting in some signs of bottoming here. Obviously, there's serious signs of accumulation once again on the lows, especially below that 1825-ish region. But does that mean that it can come back down and grind this area out at like 1820 to 1825? Yes, absolutely. So I don't think that there's any major rush on this one. But the criteria that I'd have for really judging upside targets further from this area is pretty much the same from the last couple of weeks. I want to see a weekly closure above 1862 or wherever the weekly 21 is. And then yes, we can target back up to like 1950 and beyond. And that looks pretty damn good as well. This is more or less a very nice and orderly consolidation here, as you do see the declining volume as price action puts in a nice structure. So I do think that it is setting up, and this is shaping up to be reaccumulation. The question is now kind of when more than like what, I suppose. Now, of course, that also comes with a caveat. As long as you're above 1785, I look at it more or less as reaccumulation in this region. And as it is right now, momentum oscillators are actually turning back down against south. So it actually does need to get continuation this week. Otherwise, I actually will be looking for another drive back down to that 1780 base, but I'd also be looking for a bounce upon that level as well, at least on the first pass. Anyways, moving on to Mr. Bitcoin. Where are you, Mr. Bitcoin? I believe we did see one of the trade ideas that we spoke about in this morning's, or I shouldn't say trade idea, but one of these scenarios that we spoke about in this morning's video start to occur, of which, yes, we did take out the prior 4-hour high from the 22nd of January right here. Now, again, this is more or less relevant on GDAX, Coinbase, and Bitstamp, as BitMexico kind of had a little bit of a one-off, but we're seeing follow through now on GDAX and Stamp. And so that does initiate a target all the way up to about 35,500 based off of this area right here, of which you could say that, or actually, I guess I don't even have it in anymore, but it'd actually be this area right here. And yes, I do still think that Bitcoin likely does crawl its way up to this region. However, I would be looking for likely a short-term pullback from that region. Maybe it pops back down and tests around 34.5, maybe even tests around 34,000 even. But ultimately, I really don't think things are going to stop there, as we do see momentum oscillators shift to the upside here in unison. So 4-hour Stokes, nice and erect once again. More importantly, getting above that. God damn it, where's my fucking trend line from this morning's video? Is this trend line right here? It's gonna have a chance to confirm above there on the next tick, to be fair. And that would be a breakage of that, which would, yes, it certainly implies a test of like 35,500, but realistically, it's probably going to pop up to 37,500. The reason why I say that is because the higher term time frame is going to start to take over here, like the 12-hour, like the daily, of which the 12-hour looks very healthy, looks very good. Broke a similar trend line going all the way back from January of the 21st within this consolidation zone, and that is currently in the process of breaking above, as long as we have 32,100 on the next tick. On top of that, we do see that 12-hour RSI looking very, 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 very good here, as we do see it pop back above the exponential. And it's actually just a bullish reset. I look at this as a very constructive read over time, and I'd essentially be looking for it to pop back into the bullish control zone on this run, actually, funnily enough. And then moving on to the daily, this has greater implications the further and further that it gets, because if Bitcoin does close anywhere above 34,000 bucks, or actually 33,900, which it's a clean $600 above right now, we're going to see daily momentum oscillators reject the bearish control zone, pop back up, and that's going to be within the context of setting in and really confirming this as a reaccumulation, which we identified over the last few weeks. And that's going to actually have greater implications for driving targets up, not just to 37,500, but 40,000 bucks. So all of these things working together, of course, and this was spoken about at length in this morning's video. So if you want the full in-depth, definitely check out this morning's video, and maybe we do like a quick, maybe a quick Butyrol here too, because this one's been pretty damn lightning fast thus far. Where's my Butyrol? God damn it, dude, where's my Butyrol? Makes so much sense. Technically speaking, I want to see a daily closure above 1414. That's 1414. We're currently about 12 bucks above that right now. If that does happen, I would essentially be looking at this as an efficacious breakout, and this is obviously not the right chart because I'm not getting the right levels just yet. There we go. I think it's this one right here, and I'd really be marking off this as a reaccumulation phase. Hidden bullish divergence is the key on this one, as well as momentum also is shifting back up. And if that happens alongside a closure, especially above the 272 right here, I'd still be having that further upside target somewhere around 1700 for first target. Although I doubt things stop there, at least for like a short-term pullback perhaps, and then we try our way up to like 1800 plus. So with that said, still looking good there. Of course, I should come up with a contingency for this on the other side just in case, and that would be this. As long as Butyrol is above this level right here, let me get my shift key out. There we go. Motherfucker, didn't even do it. But basically 1350, I am bullish on the short term, looking basically for a breakout from this region. Again, volatility has been coming down quite significantly since the closure on Friday, so this is starting to get into more and more of a breakout posture here as we do get it down below the 50 percentile. So to me, that says, hey, keep your hard hats on, if you will, if that even makes sense. And I would be looking at this as more or less good right here. But of course, I want to see the daily follow through, and obviously Bitcoin as well. And with that said, I do want to wish you the best and the happiest. Take care, and until next time.